Today marks 1400. Find this day, share lessons I learn and continue to learn with you. I hope these insights will inspire you, support your dreams, help achieve your goals, and really empower you to become the person that you want to become. Today I want to speak about Charlie Kirk, and today will be a totally different lesson. And there is a reason behind it. A person that I really admire, of course, passed away, was killed, was murdered in a situation that I think that it never supposed to happen in the first place. And I think that there's a reason behind it. I will share the reason at the end. And I think that there's, of course, my mind is too small to understand all the intricacies and the true reasons and why it did happen and all together. But I will share what are the reasons that potentially could be. Because when I think about his vows, and his vows was faith, family, and nation, and those three strong vows that he lived by. And what I liked about, what I really admire about him, that he was really standing for his beliefs. I think that we don't have a lot of people who really stand for something, and I really admire people who stand for something. One thing that I want to share that I think is very, very, very important to really mention is that I'm very, very apolitical. I'm not American. I don't understand what is left, what is right, what is Democrats, Republicans. I don't understand what they believe in. Maybe that's wrong, maybe that's indifferent, but I just do not believe in politics based on my current life. I just do not want to go into politics because that's an opinion-based conversations. And I just don't want to go there. So when I think about following Charlie Kirk and the lesson that I was listening to, I was specifically listening to his growth value-related topics. When he shared about his vows, about beliefs, about how to live, how to be a human being, how to be a good man, in what way you're supposed to be a good man, and what you're supposed to expect from college. Like, of course, he said that college is scam, but if you decide to go to college, how you're supposed to approach it, what you're supposed to be looking for, how to live a great life. Like, there's so many great ideas that he shared. And I think that that's, again, one of the most important things that I really want to really share today is that I focus on things that I needed from him. I needed personal growth. I needed to learn how to be confident, how to be courageous, how to really share your ideas, how to be more influential. When I removed the things that maybe I don't fully agree on. Of course, there's probably a lot of things that I agree on, a lot of things that I didn't agree with. There is no one on earth that I agree with 100%. And probably you agree with that as well. There is no wife, no friend, no anyone who agrees with you on every single thing. So that means that even though I didn't follow Charlie Kirk on political aspects, and I understand that I will follow a lot of things, other things I probably don't follow it, but it doesn't matter because I was focusing on him as a leader, as a faithful servant, as a person who really has strong values and live by them. And really, that's why I was admire him. And I think that every single person is able to really look for it. I think that's why he inspired a lot of young people to really be different. And one thing that I really, really admire him is that what he said, and is unfortunately how I ended up, he got violently killed. But what I really like about it, he said that I am going into campuses and speak with people because he said that when the conversation ends, violence starts. When conversation ends, violence starts. And I really love that idea. And I think that's why we need to really speak up. Because I didn't want to potentially do this lesson because I don't want to speak up about potential politics. But I do not, and I will not speak about politics. I will speak about what they believe in and what I believe that every single person, one of things that I stand for and I will always stand for is that I believe that every single person deserves to share their opinion. I might hate what they say. I might don't like what they say. I might say that what they're saying is nonsense or shit. It doesn't matter. I will listen and try to understand other person's perspective. I truly believe that every single person is worthy. Every single person is created in the image of God. I truly believe that every single person is worthy to listen to. I truly believe that. And I will allow that. And I have seen so many places where people, if they don't agree with something, they don't allow even to share their perspective. It's like, I don't understand the other side. You don't understand the other side because you not allow them to share. And of course, when I think about Charlie Kirk and I listen to a lot of his deliveries and ask and explaining things, of course, he sometimes delivered it very, very well. Maybe sometimes the deliveries was not that good and it was harsh. But I think that one thing is that I love the other analogy that was created, that When you have a cup in your hand and you're going with that cup in life, when someone bumps in you in that cup, you potentially will fill that cup on someone else. That means if in that cup is coffee, that means you fill on that other person coffee. If you uncup water, that means you fill on that water on that person. If you have nothing in that cup, that means that nothing will go on another person. And I think that what happens is that Charlie Kirk and his ability to speak and influence people used to stir and bump other people internal beliefs so much that they used to bring the sometimes even the worst of them and used to be so hateful, judgmental, because that's he basically allows to release what is inside of them. And I think that that's again shows how many people who are hateful, judgmental. I'm guilty of judgment as well. I know that one thing that am I being judgmental? Yes. Do I like it? No. Do I work to become better? Yes. I think that's what every single person is supposed to really work on, to become less judgmental. And I think that one of the judgment is that judgment doesn't sound good. And I think that's the most important thing about judgment. We need to understand there's two different parts. There's message and messenger. Message and messenger. So what we need to understand about judgment, be able to judge the message, but we are not able to judge messenger. I truly believe, and I truly believe living in a way that we're able to always judge the message, but never messenger. At this point, of course, what happened is that Charlie Kirk was killed because people judged the person, not the message. People didn't like the message and they didn't like the person. I think that is very unfortunate because when I think about me, myself, I follow him because he is a great leader, he was a great husband, and he was great aspiration to become a great leader. And some people who didn't like with some message now open the Pandora box to show that if you judge other person and judge other person's message, judge other person, that means that you are willing to really show the violence to that other person. And I think that's not supposed to be the answer, because I said that one of the biggest things that I stand for is for ability to allow other person to share their perspective and listen and try to understand. And I think that's again the lesson. I think that now when I promised the reason why I think that happened, because he believed in Jesus in Nazareth. He believed in faith. He said one thing that he wants to be remembered for, and that's where I negative him, because he said that he wants to really be remembered for his courage. I always said that I want to be remembered as a fighter, and he wanted to be remembered for his courage, and he is remembered in my heart based on his courage. But I think that why God allowed him to die like this? What was the reason that? And I think about reason. I think my mind is a little bit too small to understand all the intricacies, but I could share one idea. What I think that could happen is that in the last 12 years he achieved massive success. He added tremendous value to people. He influenced so many people. And there are people who were growing, developing in the background. The last 12 years, I think 12 years that he's really growing and improving and really making things happen. The last those 12 years, he was influencing people in a very good way. And in those 12 years, people were growing, developing themselves, improving. And it seems that they get in such a high level, that they needed now some kind of spark. Some kind of spark. They are ready to really take action, but they just needed some spark. And now this terrible event will ignite some fire in people. And I think that people now who will take the baton of Charlie Kirk will go above and beyond, not because they're better, but because they will stand on Charlie Kirk's shoulders. And Charlie Kirk is a giant, so people will be standing on the giant's shoulders, and they will be standing above and beyond, and they will achieve much, much more because of it. So this event, when I think about calculation of God is not of our understanding, not of my understanding. But if I would be God, I always be counting it. So this one sacrifice, massive sacrifice, one person sacrifice, what that potential could lead to. So it could lead to hundreds of thousands of people who will step up to the game, who will impact millions and millions of people in the future to come. At the same time, I think thousands of people who will step up to the game, step up to stand for something meaningful, but at the same time, there will be millions and millions of people who will be impacted in a positive way, including myself, who, for example, that this event really the last couple of days really allowed me to reflect. And most time when something bad happens, I'm very indifferent, but this time is different because I admired Charlie. And the last couple of days, I was very heavy and reflecting, and I had that reflecting state and was thinking, what's going on in me? And I was able to really, that event really shine the light on myself, on all the shortcomings that I have, the standards that were too low. I said that it's time for step up in my own life, increase my standards, remove the shortcomings, and become the best version of myself right now, rather than waiting years to come. So that means that I think that there's three things that we able to consider. People who didn't like Charlie Kirk, I think that the lesson could be just to learn to judge the message, not the messenger. At the same time, learn to develop your communication that you can stand and really express your thoughts rather than fighting for it. For people who were growing and improving themselves, who really wanted to really stand for something, but they didn't know what to stand for. Now, finally, that ignition of that fire will allow them to really stand up and really make a difference and stand for something and they take the baton. And there's millions of people like myself will be impacted positively because of this event, because they're able to reflect, they're able to see their shortcomings and look into, again, review his messages about values, about the way to live, to make better decisions, and he'll live a better life. And again, this is again one person's sacrifice could lead to so much goodness in life. It's hard to see it, and I think that it's just a thought about it, and it's a positive thought, because I think that's again what we need to do during tough days. We need to really be able to look into this situation and ask, of course, this happened not to us, it happened for us. So if it happened for us, what I need to learn from this, how I could learn from this, because I think that, again, I will repeat that Charlie Kirk was a giant that was admired him, and I think there's a lot of people who will become giants because of him. So I hope that you reflect as well. I hope that if you were judgmental, you will learn how to become aware, because I said I was very judgmental. So I need to become more aware. When I become judgmental, I need to change my judgment. I need to be more understanding. And if you said that Charlie Kirk was an amazing person to learn from, I think that you hope that you will take that baton and really go in life and really stand for the things that Charlie Kirk was standing for. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.